So Nick Foot, the AFL umpire that was employed by Sportsbet, has now been fired by, wait for it, Sportsbet. And don't get me wrong, this is the correct decision, but we've now reached a conclusion where everybody looks like an incompetent moron except for Zak Butters. The AFL looks incompetent for allowing Nick Foot, an AFL umpire, to be employed by Sportsbet in the first place. The AFL tribunal look even more incompetent than they already were because Jason Johnson decided to take the Zoom call while driving his fucking car, and then the whole case had to be thrown out. I really just still can't get over that part. And now we can't really take Nick Foot seriously as an umpire because, hey, he's the guy that compromised himself because he wanted to do a shit Sportsbet podcast about horses. And Sportsbet look incompetent for employing an AFL umpire in the first place, but they save a tiny bit of face because they're the ones that cut ties with Nick Foot instead of Nick Foot himself or the AFL. And like the AFL and Nick Foot are the two entities in this saga that really need their integrity intact, and they're the ones who failed to step up. And so the only one that comes out of this looking kind of good is Zak Butters, because now we're in a situation where even if he did accuse Nick Foot of being paid off by Sportsbet, which I'm not saying that he did, but even if he did, we can now deduce that Nick Foot would rather Zak Butters be reprimanded and fined instead of looking internally, reflecting on himself and being like, hey, I'm an AFL umpire, maybe I shouldn't have a shit podcast about horses with Sportsbet. Maybe that might look bad. And the one group of people that I think are actually really severely impacted by this that I don't see a lot of people talking about is the other AFL umpires, because their job is hard enough as it is. And I genuinely, believe it or not, I genuinely think that all of them are doing the best that they can and they're doing a good job. But the AFL and guys like Nick Foot and Michael Pell do not help. And one last thing, Sportsbet didn't cut ties because of some sense of morality or whatever. They did it because it's a perceived conflict of interest. And when you work in branding and PR, like I have, a perceived conflict of interest may as well be a conflict of interest. As you can see with Kane Cornes stepping down from the All-Australian selection squad. If it looks bad, it is bad, and they could actually get in a lot of trouble if there actually is a conflict of interest. But for the most part, Sportsbet want to retain the trust of their customers. So see you, Nick Foot. Go watch the Saddle Club. Anyway, go D's.